We're live! Yay! It's alive! Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. It's a little cool, wonderful mug, radiate positive energy. So I am drinking actually coffee tonight. I'm one of those that can actually have caffeine even as I am dozing off. It's just like, yeah. So please let me know in the comments below, what are you drinking? Let me know, and let's do cheers. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments because tonight we're talking about intuition. Intuition is sometimes so difficult to trust because we are constantly being bombarded, barraged with information saying, yeah, you can't trust it. And it's from that left side of the brain, the logical aspect, the logic that so many people are constantly subscribing to. For example, people will say, well, math doesn't lie. So it's very comfortable to go over to the math part, to the left side, to the logic. Instead of trusting intuition, trusting that intuitive guidance, when you trust that intuitive guidance, what you find is that you will suddenly be at the right place at the right time. And you won't even be able to explain it. You won't necessarily even understand it. And you don't have to. What happens is that when you have that confidence, when you have that faith, when you have that trust in this is that divine guidance, that's my inner voice. Well, it helps you be more confident, doesn't it? The more you use it, the more confident you become. Think about if you have ever had vocal lessons, or if you know someone who has, they might be a tenor or a bass or a soprano, but they all have the same instrument, and that instrument is their voice. Well, all of us have our intuitive voice. We have our instrument, but when you think about our instrument, we might have a little bit more. No, we're not a tenor necessarily, but we receive the information a little bit differently. All of us have that sixth sense, and that's that intuitive knowingness. That's that gut feeling. Yeah, you can't explain your instincts. You just know that you know. But your ESP is your extrasensory perception. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, because I want to make sure you are charging in, you are connecting, and you are absolutely on point with your five senses. Sounds simple, and yet it seems a little bit difficult too. Do you know what is your preferred intuitive voice? Not that you're a soprano, not that you're a bass or a tenor, but do you know when you are trusting your intuition, besides that knowingness, besides that gut instinct, what is your way of receiving information? How do angels talk to you? How do you just get that sense? What is it? Hi, Tara. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Venice. Yay! I'm so glad to see you both here. I would love to know which way you pay attention to your intuition. When we talk about seeing things, sometimes we think that we're supposed to see something and it's going to be so obvious. And the thing about our intuition, it's become rather quiet, just like working with fairies. It's become rather quiet because we don't do it as often. The more you use it, the more you'll start to see it. When you're seeing things, it might be seeing those numbers, how you see those random numbers coming up over and over and over. You might see a repeated true sign, like, yeah, it's a stop sign, but it's a sign that you were just asking about something. Tonight, I ran out to grab us some salads for dinner. And it was interesting because I felt like I was being watched. Now, that's that sixth sense, feeling of being watched. I asked angels, who's watching me? And then I had this feeling, I'm going to look down. I'll show you who was watching me. And I hope you're able to see it. Yes, that is a praying mantis. How gorgeous. How incredible, how magical. And when you think about what a powerful statement that animal messenger is, that's ability to look, to use your sight. So I don't want you to ever feel like, oh gosh, it's going to be really hard for me to see things. I have to pay attention. I have to be so super on point and observant, because if you're the goddess of optimism or a goddess of peace, you're just suddenly feeling like, oh man, that's a lot of pressure. If you're the goddess of order, you know you're very observant, so you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable, but maybe you don't have to do that. Goddess of action, you are so running on instincts that you are naturally going to see it, take it in, and process it and take that action. However, it'd be great if you're going to be a little bit more deliberate, especially if you want to communicate with angels, especially if you want to communicate with fairies, and especially if you want to give readings to other people. We talked about the sight, but what about the smell? When you smell things, that's going to be, think about like when you blow out a candle, that scent. So if you'll start to pay attention to, oh, I noticed that flower. I noticed that sour smell. I noticed that garbage smell. I know that like a fire smell, but like from that pit, like a fire pit where you roasted marshmallows. So you're going to start taking in those scents, and it's going to most likely give you an image that you're getting from your sight in your mind's eye. And then all of a sudden you're getting more and more clarification, more intuitive muscle strength, because you're working out that muscle and you're receiving the information. Frequently, when you're working with fairies, you're going to get a scent. Nothing's there. There are no beautiful flowers. There's nothing that you could connect it with. That's because fairies don't have to do that. They just gave you a blessing. Don't shortchange that blessing by negating it or not believing in it. What about taste? That seems like that might be a little bit more difficult. Not really, because think about everything that you do take in through your taste. Think about as a baby, or if you know any small children, how they put everything in their mouth because they are exploring the world through their mouth. And that was you. So for me, I'm drinking coffee tonight. What does that taste like? What kind of flavor? When I'm giving a reading, sometimes I'll get the sensation of like birthday cake, literally birthday cake. And I know what that's about. I have had where I've suddenly had the taste of donuts or bubble gum. Think about spices. Think about those kind of flavors that would be easy to identify. And you'll know, oh my gosh, there's something that is a sign, a message communicating to me. Now, what about hearing? Have we talked about hearing? I didn't think we had been. I hope we hadn't, because I'm going to repeat myself if I have, because we did eyes, nose, taste, ears. Okay, good. It's kind of funny. I had no wine here. Cheers with my coffee. It's just regular coffee. I didn't even do decaf at all. Okay, so what are you listening to? Well, sometimes you will actually hear something. When I hear angels talking, when I hear another voice, it comes through in two different ways. Sometimes it actually comes through and I know, oh, wait a minute, this is like someone who's passed. But when it's my angel, it kind of sounds like my voice, but not. And here's the thing when you think about it. You hear your voice all the time. You know your voice. You recognize your voice. But the more you start paying attention to that sound, those messages, the stronger and the more you're going to be able to take in. When you are taking in the information, you might be in the midst of doing a reading and all of a sudden you hear a chime. All of a sudden you hear a noise that's abnormal. You will also hear noises, like maybe it's like when our dogs scratch, you know how it jingles on their collar. Well, that's a sign. When I hear that, I know there is something, like a collar. Do they have a pet? Is there something that I need to connect with? But it's also, if I'm asking, should I take my pet to the vet? Is this an urgent call or can it wait till tomorrow? And I feel like, you know what? I feel like I can wait for tomorrow, but I want some sort of confirmation. Give me a sign that my pet wants to wait, until tomorrow. Okay, yes, that is one. As angels play with my nose, yes, that is a sign. But the other thing is, if I get that little chain kind of thing, I'm going to get it too. Then I know, okay, yeah, that's exactly the same kind of confirmation that they are saying to me. Yeah, it is absolutely fine with me to wait as well. So we've discussed your eyesight. We've discussed your sense of smell. We've discussed your sense of taste, and we've discussed your sense of hearing, which is going to be where you're taking in new songs. That's a message from your angel, voices from your angels. You have this whole realm. Now, what about touch? What about that tactile reception? What that happens, it's frequently, that's those goosebumps that you get that confirms. That's that feeling of maybe cold air or warm air. That's also that sensation of something doesn't feel right and you feel discomfort within your body. As an empath, that's also when you suddenly get a headache that's not yours. It's when you're picking up as an empath that something's wrong with Mother Nature or that tree, and that tree needs your love, your healing. That's that sense of touch that when you hold an object in your hands, you're getting information. That's why it's so important that even when you get something that is from the grocery store, from the department store, through Amazon, through an antique store, you want to cleanse all of it because there is lingering energy. There is lingering vibration that you can feel. I would love to know if anyone would like to join and talk about their intuition or if you have any questions. So I just posted that on both. Megan has a great question and she says, can you have all the clairs or is it regular to only have one or two? I believe we have all of the clairs, and that's why we used to call it ESP, extrasensory perception. You might have one that you favor just because you're used to using it. But my goal is for each and every one of you to absolutely tune in as many ways as possible. I'll tell you, I've been tuning in more and more with my sense of taste, kind of driving me crazy because no one else is tasting it. Everything is like hyper sensitive. But then again, it's such a blessing because everything is so hypersensitive. I'm tuning in such a stronger way. And I really feel like you're going to love that too. And it's also the more you start developing it, the more you're going to become more well-rounded with your voice. Think about this. If you are doing vocal lessons, you're not just going to be singing country songs. You're not just going to be practicing scales. You're going to have a well-rounded repertoire that you're going to work through. So you might have an aria that you're able to sing. You might have a rap song that you can even do and enjoy. It's the same with your intuitive voice. You're going to have the full gamut, and you do have the full gamut at your disposal. It's a matter of tuning into it and using it. But excellent question, Megan. Yay! Hi, Kimberly. Yay! Sonia, I'm so glad you're here. Yay! Yes, yay. You're seeing things. You haven't been in tune possibly for a while, but now you're seeing things. The other thing to remember is this is a magical month. We are in the ninth month, which is, we know, magical. It is also a time of completion, but it's also the equinox. It is the month of the equinox. This is already, when you have an equinox, the veil is thin. You are in that between stage. Then we're going into closer and closer to another holiday being Samhain. And that is absolutely where that veil is thin. And that's why we celebrate the loved ones who have passed. We have the Day of the Dead. We celebrate our ancestors and we thank them. So this veil is super, super thin. So as you're saying, Sonia, that you're able to connect, you are connecting, that's wonderful. And keep up connecting. That is really, really great. Now, Tara says, you see numbers. Oh my gosh, every day on the clock. Oh, that's really cool. Especially what is really great is that you're paying attention to it. Sometimes what you might find, Tara, is that you're just driving along, doing your own thing. You're listening to a song and all of a sudden you hear something and it makes you look at the clock. Has that ever happened to you? It's so cool when that happens because you are dialing back in, you're tuning back in, and you're now using your sense of hearing and your sense of sight. And so you have that clear seeing and you have that clear hearing, and you are tuning in and working that intuitive muscle. It's just wonderful, wonderful. Now, Kimberly says, you see things, hear things, and feel things. Yes. Dreams are big too. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Kimberly, if you're not already using a manifesting journal or a sleep journal or something, that would be absolutely something wonderful. That would be so great to do. I do have a new journal on my Amazon shop, and you can even Google it and find it. It's just available on Amazon, and it's a manifesting journal. And when you buy it and then give me your invoice number, I have a free bundle, and it has journal prompts and it has a specific meditation just for writing in your manifesting journal to make sure. But even if you don't want to do that, you don't have to buy that. But I do want you to journal. I do want you to do that because your dreams are telling you. Those are so magical. They're so, so powerful. And it's neat that you're open to it, because then you're continuously building on your intuitive muscle, your intuitive voice. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh my gosh. With your son, Ryan, he absolutely knows what it's like to be using vocally trained, to have those vocal teachers. It's really applying the same. Now, you don't have to practice like he had to do, but you do have to listen to it, trust it, and be open to it constantly. So I guess it's kind of practicing, but yeah. but how it's so good seeing you. I hope everything is wonderful. Yay. Aw. Okay, so you had asked that. I shared those. Kathleen says she sees 111 or 518. Which is your birthday? I think it's interesting. So with 111, we know anytime it's 111, any of the ones, that's that angel connection. 1111, make a wish, because that's where it's completely open. Angels are listening. Angels are right here for you. That 518, what I feel like that is saying is that 5 is that encouraging you for change. That 1 is that you can do it. You don't have to go solo, but you can always change into a new beginning. Anytime you want to wash your hands of something, you can always release it and step forward into your own power, because that 8 brings the manifesting. So I'm curious, when you're seeing that 518, what you're thinking about. Frequently, you'll see a number when you've got something on your mind and you're just kind of absent-mindedly like, oh, I just wish I had some answers. I just wish I knew what to do. When you're feeling that way, and then suddenly you see that number, you might see that 1111. Well, angels are like, girl, let me help you out. I'm right here. Or you might see that 518 like, you know what? I do know what I'm doing. I am. You might see an animal, just like that praying mantis was bringing a message, just like that hummingbird had been bringing a message. You do receive messages from animals all the time. It's a matter of owning it, believing it, and having the confidence. Yeah, that message was for me. Yay. Yay. Listen, Kathleen, if you buy one of those journals, would you please message me? Because I'll just send that to you. It's really fabulous. I'm very, very excited about it, in case you can't tell. I'm really pleased because I did all the editing and I haven't done that in a while. And I even have it where I just play music during the 7 minutes, because when I'm journaling and I actually listen to it, it's kind of weird. I don't think it sounds like me. But anyway, I like that I don't have to set my little timer to do the 7 minutes. So yes, hi Ty. Oh my gosh, how crazy. Yes. Oh my, that happened. I've never turned in. Oh my gosh. Yep. How cool is that? Yes. Oh, and how many hawks? Yep. So when you see an animal, it really is, there are a couple steps, and you can download my the animal journal, and it's on my freebies. And it is free, obviously, but that journal will walk you through how to, what were you thinking about when you saw the animal? Now, granted, when you see that animal, remember, you just used your clairvoyant, your clear seeing, you're seeing the message, right? But then you're also having to trust your inner knowingness. That's that sixth sense. The sixth sense is that gut knowing and that feeling, that just sensing something. But you got to trust that too, because it's working together. Those layers are that's like the scales and the actual performance. So when you're doing the performance, you're not beating yourself up. Oh man, my intuition was only partially right. I never feel that way. I never have that experience. I know my intuition is right, but here's the blessing of knowing your intuition is right. If I have a feeling about someone and it's less than, I'm worried about them, instantly I send angels to them. Isn't it nice to know that you're able to do that? Instead of feeling like you cause anything, let me tell you, you cannot cause things. People say, well, I don't want to really trust my intuition because I might cause something. No more than you caused that hawk to fly overhead. You got a message. Now you're being given, what do you want to do with it? Now, and thank you, angels. Tickling my nose. What do you want to do with it? Hand it over to angels. Place a hedge of protection around that person. Wish them well. Send them love. It's the same as suddenly having a feeling, I should reach out to her. I should text her. I should just pop in and see how she's doing. These things matter. This is why your intuition is so important, because it guides you on the right path. Because what you didn't realize is by reaching out to that person, you then had a conversation. That conversation led to her saying, hey, you know what? I've got this friend that's looking for someone. I think you'd be great for the job. Now, you would be great for the job, but she never would have put those two and two together, except suddenly you came to the forefront. And all of a sudden, it's divine timing. That's another reason why it's important to trust your intuition, to pay attention to the messages and go with it. And the more you listen to it, the more confident you become. Never, ever, ever do I have someone say, oh, I should not have listened. But I always have people that come back saying, I should have listened. And they're so right. So right. You know, I have many of those moments too, where I should have listened. Now, when you're seeing that hawk, what does that mean? Well, the hawk is helping you, especially if they're in flight. They're looking out for you. They're probably claiming you for a little bit, especially if you're seeing a bunch of them lately. So if hawks are claiming you, they're saying, I'm going to help you on your path. I'm going to clear your path. I'm going to help make sure that I can look from above and see, okay, this is where you could be going. This is the direction to go in. How nice is that? Hawks also are able to be heard. So they're going to encourage you to communicate. Why is Psychic September so powerful? Because it brings in Virgo energy, which is also a part of Mercury, which is also part of communicating, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra. So both of these are lending themselves to providing the information, to sharing the information. And even if you don't want to speak out and share with anybody else, you don't have to, but it's a wonderful time for you to communicate with your angels. And this communication lends itself to, hey, angels, did you send that hawk for me? Was that a message to slow down because there's a cop ahead? Is that a message to say, hey, I'm helping your dreams take flight? And then you will know the answer. How cool is that? You're going to know. You're going to know that you know. And here's Annie. You know it is. The cat's running around too. Like, yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. So Kathleen says, what are your favorite cards to use? Those are my favorite cards that I put on. That's a good question though. I do have favorite cards that I put on Amazon. My angel deck that I use, it's the angel messenger cards that I personally will read just for myself. I love the dragon cards. I love especially if you're new, I love Karen K's cards because they're very, very easy to connect with. It's a very loving vibration. If you're, what other cards do I love my Osho Zen when I'm giving readings to someone else. And this is something that for those of you who are interested in giving readings and eventually even charging for them, perhaps. But even if you're giving a reading to someone else, I love that deck. I love the deck. And I love it because I read it. And if you use a tarot deck, I frequently would have pushback with people that they would think that they know better because they know that that card is supposed to mean this. And they're coming from a goddess of order point of view. And so they're missing out on the divine guidance. They're missing out on the blessing. When I use that Osho Zen card, and let me see if I've got my, I had it. I might not. I might have taken it over to the other. Yeah, I took them over to the other room. But that's the difference. That's when I am giving a reading, frequently you'll hear me say, don't read the words. With this, when I'm doing readings for live or for something else, I will read the message just right here, because when I'm going to go deeper into a message, that's when I'm getting the vibration of the card. I'm picking up the energies, and I've got plenty of time to tune in. When you see me doing a reading, though, you'll see me shuffling, I'll be saying your name and I'm getting into your vibration. And I close my eyes because I want to hone in as quickly as possible. And it's as fast for me as taking a breath. And it's going to be like that for you if you will trust your intuition. And remember, I was giving thousands of readings, thousands. So you just know, it's like turning on that light switch. You're just in that zone, and really you can come out when you want to too. If you are reading for yourself, one thing that really helps me is journaling. I'll write my question, and I actually get most of my answers by journaling. So I'll even start, dear angels, what is it that you'd like me to be working on, or like revealed, or if I have a situation, how can I handle this? But sometimes I just want a card, and I will shuffle. I find often I'll be shuffling for someone else, or I'm going to go live, or I'm going to do a recording, and I'm shuffling, and the cards that come out, it's like, oh, wow, that was for me. Most importantly, long way around answering this question, I'm sorry. Go with the deck that you intuitively feel. What is it, the deck that you intuitively are connecting with? Many of you know the story that I love Osho Zen. I love, 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 love that deck. But I had been using it for years and years and years, and I wanted a new deck. I wanted to just start using something else. I wanted something different at the store. And this gentleman had overheard me, and I didn't know him. He was from out of town visiting. He stopped in, he hears, and he couldn't get in for a reading, but he hears me talking over and over and over about, I just wanted a new deck. He didn't know what deck I already had, but he heard me saying, I just wish there was a new deck that would just pop out. Well, I get this envelope in the mail. It's a deck. It's a new deck. It was of my same deck. It was of the Osho Zen deck. How nice of him that he was open to receiving the message of angel saying, buy her this, give it to her. And he did, because what that showed me was this is what angels enjoy working with me, giving readings. This is something that enables others to align and let that message be carried out, be carried through, empowering them and providing confidence. So when you trust your intuition, you're going to find the deck that you're in sync with. And then you can also say, okay, I would like another deck. I have got hundreds of decks. I've got 3 drawers in my library of decks, but I don't use most of them, honestly. I will come through and sometimes I'll feel this or I'll pull this deck, but overall, you're going to find that deck that you love and that you work with. Ty says, you have a fairy display on your walkway, right? Not wallpaper. And every morning you see feathers around it. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. Oh, Ty, that's wonderful. That is so, so wonderful. So when you're walking through and you see these feathers, say thank you. Thank the fairies. Thank you for leaving this wonderful encouragement for me. I love you, and I love working with you too. And you know what? I know other people, there is that dirty, dirty, dirty gossip that says you should never thank a fairy. Baby, I thank fairies all the time, all the time, all the time. all the time. I thank them for getting the hummingbirds that were stuck in the garage. Thank you for getting them out. Thank you for keeping this property safe. Thank you for guiding me, for helping me. And Ty, I'm so glad you brought up fairies, because fairies specialize in helping us learn intuition, learning any psychic, any of this metaphysical. Fairies help us. So this is really important that you are paying attention to the fairies. And you are, not only are you sensing it, but you're looking down and you're picking up the feather. So you're holding it. You are involving so many of your extrasensory perception, of your ESP. Now, it's your sixth sense that if you say to fairies and say it out loud, they're not going to read your brain. They're not going to read your thoughts. That's a boundary that's created any more than I can read their thoughts. Now, when I speak out loud and they present me with feedback, it actually just comes across as a total thought. It's not like, it's kind of like we're talking right now, but it's placed right there. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Start talking with your fairies because they're here for you. How cool is that? Yay, yay, yay. Hi, Karen. Yay. Are you at work already? Aw, I enjoy you too, Karen. Yay. Thanks, beautiful. Yay. Nice. Okay, I've got to take a sip real fast. Hang on. Does anybody have any more questions on your intuition? I would love to hear it. Besides having your deck, playing with the pendulum, absolutely easy to use and utilize. Absolutely so many different ways that we can strengthen that muscle. But let's just start by paying attention. Pay attention to what you're being given. Pay attention to a feeling of a certain thing. I'll tell you, it was years ago, my friend Elizabeth, who was on, gave me a fairy. And I thought, I'm not sure why she's giving me this, because I thought I am hell-bent on only talking about intuition. And Elizabeth knew better. She allowed herself to have this message like, I don't know how Trisha's going to handle this, but girl, I think you're going to be doing something with fairies. And she's right. And I was. How amazing is that? And the fairy love, the fairy contact, I had been talking to fairies since I was little, but I thought, especially in the United States, we don't talk about fairies. We talk about angels. That's more accepted, but we don't really talk about fairies, do we? And so it was very interesting. Like, okay, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it. And boy, has she opened up some amazing things, like with the Fairy Dust 101 course, totally written by fairies. This fell out. Hang on. Okay, so when I'm shuffling and I have cards that are deliberately picked out like that, I'm going to share with you. For each and every one of you, success is here for you. I do feel this doorway is opening up. I really do. I feel this is asking you. Okay, so now I'm just going into intuition because I see the photo. I know they're pointing to the sunshine. So I just asked angels, okay, give me a little bit more clarity on what you mean by that sunshine. What I feel is that this month is very powerful. And I also feel like the equinox is going to be a very strong time of manifesting. Guard your thoughts. I also feel this road is, you can take an easy road or you can take a hard road. That's up to you. Now, nowhere on this does it say this. I personally do not read the booklets that accompany the cards. I know that seems like a big no-no to some people, but for me, what I teach is, and you can see it on the one, I do have a video on YouTube about getting to know your new deck or getting reacquainted with a deck, or especially if you've purchased a deck like through Half Price Books or something. But I get to know each card. So whenever I bring in a new deck, I literally sit and meet each card, and I want to resonate with it. I want to get to know it, and I want to feel it. And you'll feel that too. The interesting thing is, yes, you'll have a vibration with that card, but then you're going to read it for someone else and it's going to be a whole new message. And it just continues to grow and grow. And that's probably why I love Osho Zen so much, because my relationship with it continues to grow and grow and grow. And it's like getting to know someone so well that you say, oh my gosh, you parted your hair on a different side, because you just know that person so well. It's the same with the deck. Now, what's interesting, this next card, it says, beneath the surface lies great bounty. And I feel like this is really honestly bringing forth the dragon energy. I feel like this is saying to you, you're stronger than you realize. Your gifts are the treasure. And I feel like this card is encouraging you to step up into your light. I also feel dragon is going to be a power animal for you for the rest of this week. Probably, the rest of this month, because angels are tickling my nose. But I do feel the rest of this month. I feel like dragon energy, when you're working with dragon, what you find is that there is a little bit more get up and go. There's a little bit more fire to things. You have a little bit more energy to it. The thing is, with Virgo energy, with September energy, we have a lot of earth, a lot of feeling grounded. So as a dragon would be down here, they're a very full, rich presence. And you might feel a little bit more of that. You might be a little more deliberate in your steps, or you might feel like you're a little bit slower going, which is fine. You're being grounded. If you think about September is also working with gnomes, and my goodness gracious, haven't they popped out everywhere? But when you're working with gnome energy, remember, they're very grounded too. They're not in a hurry. They're going to take their deliberate time because they want to do it right the first time. They'll also help you with your intuition, by the way. And the third card, interesting. It is also about the bridge, time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Oops, sorry. Now, what I see on this is about the full moon energy. And I feel like, look, I would love for you to think about what's working and what's not working. And this is because Virgo energy is a very powerful manifesting time. Tomorrow, especially, very, very powerful because it's that 9. So as you're looking at, hey, what is it that I need to bridge? Maybe you're feeling on this side of your dreams and you feel like, wait a minute, I got to go from here to over here. Well, if you're feeling that way, ask angels to provide what is that bridge? What is it that I need to do? Now you got to trust your intuition. You got to pay attention to your intuition. I feel intuition is really denied. And we know that there's the data, we're all data driven. We know that people want to argue. We want to get along. So we kind of swallow that intuitive knowingness. No, this is saying you got to own it. You might feel like, but I like that person. I don't want to not be friends with them. Baby, you can still be friends with them, but this might mean maybe you should not call them every day, or maybe you should call them at a different time. Maybe it's like, hey, I still want my morning because I need to get my yoga in, and then call after that, or invite them to do yoga. Even if it's on Zoom, invite them to do that exercise program with you. But there are ways that you can work through this. Angels will actually guide you and help you. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, sweetheart. Annie says, oh, Oracle Fairies, and you adore that deck. I am so glad you love that. What do you think about reading it? Are you able to connect pretty easily? Yeah, I hope so. I feel you are, actually. I feel you're very, very intuitive. The nice thing about having a deck, so beautiful too, is that you're able to connect to, first of all, Karen has beautiful energy. So you're able to connect with her beautiful, lovely energy. Then you have this beautifully illustrated card that you're able to gaze upon, and it's easier to release any nervousness or any pent up, sensation. So you relax, you take that breath, and you're able to tune in so, so well. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for you. That's wonderful. Yay. Yeah, you love the deck too. Yay. Kathleen says, You feel like that is a deck calling you tonight. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, you don't have any decks yet. Hi, Katrina. Katrine, right? Did I say that right, Katrina? One night I heard light singing. Oh, I feel like that's a fairy, by the way. I have a fairy display on my kitchen counter and outside my door. Yes, yes. Sometimes when actually, especially around the farm, especially like by the horses, I will hear that singing, have that sensation of singing. Or I wonder, and Katrina, I would love to know if this has happened with you too. All of a sudden, a new song comes on your mind. All of a sudden, and even if it's happy birthday, all of a sudden you start singing, but you have that joy when you're singing along, right? I bet you're doing that too. Oh my gosh, this is just so wonderful. I am so, so excited for you. I hope you've begun working with fairies, or I hope you're already working with fairies, because they will help your intuition too. They will help you get stronger. Like it's just like, we talk about different crystals. Well, there are certain crystals that are extra great for listening to your intuition. But honestly, amethyst is the one that I feel like if you only had a couple crystals to get, amethyst would be on the top of my list. And amethyst tunes into all of the divine. Fairies, angels, amazing. Hi, Jean. Hi, beautiful. So nice to see you. Yay. That's okay if you just heard singing once. Wherever you heard that singing, would you please sing? And it's like you're inviting them to sing along with you. Remember, this month, you're going to have heightened fairy activity. This is a month where I absolutely do as much that I can for our property, for the land. Even when we lived in a subdivision, I would still go thank my lavender that was growing, thank the trees growing. I would make sure that the bird baths were clean. I would leave an offering. Here's the thing, when you're leaving an offering, you don't want to just like fling it out. Like, here's this fabulous cookie and just like, you don't want to do that. You want to place it in some place. You want to have it, you're offering it to them, just like you'd be offering a friend, a treat to have, dinner with you. You wouldn't have a friend over and then like, here's dessert and fling the cake in their face or something. You would place it nicely. And you're thanking the bounty of the land. You're thanking the spirit of the land, the great spirit of the land. And you're thanking Mother Earth. You're thanking the fairies. And the more you engage with the fairies, the more they're very active. And part of why I love doing Wine Down Wednesday and having a wine actually is because I offer that wine to the fairies too. And they love it as well. And I know they love the fairies. I know we have specific things that sometimes they don't like the wine, or they'll tell me they do like the fruitier wine better. They don't like the dry wine. It's an interesting conversation to get started. And then you're sharing like, I like that cookie recipe. I like that cake recipe. I don't like that other stuff. So oh my God, it's so fun. Yay, Jean has the fairy deck and the fairy stakes. Oh, I gotcha. I got the fairy stakes in your garden. You know what's wonderful? Those fairy stakes, you can make those. You can get a dowel, and you know how you can get those beads from, you can get beads like from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joanne Fabrics. You could also use your own ribbons. You know how we get so many different cute outfits, but they are packaged with some ribbon around it, especially if you get like those fuzzy blankets that feel really good. They usually will have some really pretty ribbon. Take that and wrap that around your dowel. Put one of those, and you can hot glue the sparkly stuff, hot glue that together, or you can even staple it, whatever works for you. And then if there's a pretty bauble that you get, and I have gotten some pretty baubles, but I've also had it where I had some really cute like rhinestone shoes, and it was sandals, and they fell apart, but you keep a container of those baubles, of those different rhinestones or jewels, and you can put that on your fairy sticks, and you'd be amazed how much activity that really does bring. But that's something that just is so, so, so nice. So, Katrina, yes, lapis lazuli is absolutely something that's wonderful and perfect for your third eye. There's a lot of controversy around that crystal right now, and that's why I wasn't mentioning it as a mandatory crystal. So, thank you for bringing that up. No offense towards anyone. It's and it's not to get political. This is not ever a political place. It is that the Taliban makes their money from mining lapis lazuli and several other crystals, honestly. Hibiscus moon is one of my favorites. I got certified. I became a certified crystal healer through Hibiscus moon and her Crystal Academy. And she was talking about, and she's been talking about this. This is not new news. It's just a recent resurgence of fake lapis lazuli that's now out. So caution everybody. And it's also they support the entire system through sales of that. So it's a lot of money, a lot. So that's why, but I love my lapis lazuli too. I do. I have some bracelets. I have some necklaces. I'm turning to sapphire. So my go-to stone for intuition right now, especially if you want something blue. I love angelite. I love blue chalcedony. I don't even know how to say that right. But sapphire is my go-to. And you can get nice sapphire. You can get really, really, really inexpensive sapphire. Baby, I don't care if you just get a blue stone. You could just get something blue glass. Doesn't matter. It's that vibration from the blue that you are connecting with, and you will find. Now, the sapphire does have that vibrational energy that's going to help you with your throat chakra, with your third eye, the whole kit and caboodle. And it's a stone for September. So I love that. Yay. Jean says, my friend bought them for me on Amazon. They're awesome. Yay. Oh, you're going to make their wings sparkly. Oh, I think that's wonderful. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, I love Larimar. Oh my gosh. Annie, since you've been wearing a lot of Larimar stones lately, are you feeling a little bit more? Now that is beautiful. I wonder if you're working with mermaid energy though. I'm wondering if you're aligning more with that. Are you feeling a little bit more emotional, or are you feeling like your emotions are coming into alignment? Because it sure seems like it's remarkable, but it feels like you're going to be communicating on a deeper soul to soul level with other people, and sometimes they might not necessarily know what to do with that information. Like you're just, I know, hi, you're going to just know a lot. And that's what's happening. I don't know what's happening back there. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, that's okay. That's all right. Oh, you're welcome. We've got to band together and raise the vibration of this world, and people are going to try to bring it down. No, nope. Let's see. You have a azurite stone. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That's wonderful too. Superb. What a beautiful, very clear vibration. I bet that helps you. I feel like that actually even helps you with headaches, by the way. I feel like that is just such a perfect stone. I feel like it's a little bit more heightened for you. It feels like more that you work with it more in the summertime. I would feel like I feel like I would love for you to connect with it a little bit more and talk to it. As in, like when I'm getting to know a new crystal that I've gotten, I have a Lemurian, or I think it's, crystal. I don't know that I've got it. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here's some amazing crystals right here. Yeah. And there's some, I'm just knocking them all over just like the cat. But look how gorgeous this is. I'm hoping you can see it. Yeah. The power, and even if you just hold one little one, what I do though is I want to get a sense of the crystal. And so I really want to get to know it. And so I'll just sit and I'll hold it. And what do I experience? What do I feel? So you might find you're working with your azurite a lot. And then all of a sudden you're going to feel like, you know what? I feel like she's now saying she's helping me lose weight. You can't explain it. Doesn't matter. That's your intuition. And that's why your intuition matters so much, because you're holding it, you're connecting with it. Honestly, the thing that sold me on the Lemurian crystal, look how teeny tiny that is. And yet you can feel its energy like arcing over. It's remarkable. That's why it matters what you get. This is citrine. It's a necklace of citrine crystals. And as you're holding it, it might not have the same high vibration, but you can then charge it, supercharge it with your selenite. That'll raise the vibration of everything. My selenites, there's some over there. We have it all built in all throughout here too. But it's really neat. When you start working with your crystals a little bit more, yeah, you're going to find like you are just, and you're trusting your intuition. You know more about that crystal than a book or anyone else is going to tell you, because that crystal is communicating with you. So is there a difference between the amethyst stone and the cluster? Yes, because the energy goes out. You can, let me scroll over here. Let me just go over here a hot second. I have the dowsing rods. Remember, Benjamin Franklin was a dowser too. He was into this. We've got a lot of energy going. Whoa, geez. Yeah, they love the energy of the crystals that are behind me. You know how we were talking about that. So what you're seeing now, I'm just holding, I'm just holding it. Normally you hold it by your side. And I know, thank you. These are copper. You could make them out of hangers. Yes, dowsing rods helps you find water, but they find the energy. So let's say all of a sudden you have a crystal and you want to know how far does that crystal's aura? Think about it in terms of a bubble. How far does that crystal's bubble go? Well, you're going to feel it and experience it through your dowsing rods, through connecting like that. There's a lot of energy in here. So, okay, I know you can still kind of see it, but yeah, I am not moving these at all. This is all of the energy that's in here. That's how, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. The kitten isn't really sure. Whoa, 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 whoa. So that's how much energy thank you, your crystals will give off. You can supercharge your crystals if you feel like they need a boost. I used to put mine out underneath the full moon. I have a gazillion crystals, so I'm not going to be able to take them all out. I have a fairy crystal. I don't want something to happen to her. I don't want to take her outside and possibly damage her. So I work with her. I thank her. I bless her. I cleanse her. So if you get a cluster, or if you have a little stone, that amethyst can carry a big whopping. You don't need a major crystal. You will see, as you see different areas in my room, that I have some major, like those cathedral type of amethyst. I have teeny tiny amethyst. I have that massive labradorite that you've seen in my office. See right there, over there. I know that showed you a little bit of the unpacking I'm still doing. But that major slab of labradorite, I have a teeny tiny one that's in the shape of an elephant, and she is as powerful. It's just incredible the energy that you get off it. So as far as the size of your amethyst, you can determine how far that space is just by sensing it, by making your own dowsing rods, by buying them, but you could also just by feeling it, and you'll feel the energy that's going out. Your crystal is your crystal. So even if you just had a couple, you can just sleep with it, have it by your bed, and you know your crystals are working with you. Your crystals want to work with you. They want to help. I love this. Ty, thank you for asking that question. Is there a difference between a polished stone and a non-polished stone? I have both. It's how they look. Sometimes I feel like the polished stone I'm just naturally attracted to. And then I have some raw stones that I I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I want that raw energy. I love my rainbow moonstone tourmaline. That's raw. I don't like it as a polished look. So the difference is supposed to be the amount of energy that it's putting out. I personally feel like when I tap into that crystal, and baby, you can too, when you tap into your crystal, you are aligning with the vibration. That signal is there for you. You can empower that by connecting with it versus making her do all the work. Remember, when you tune in that radio station, that signal's out. That signal's coming through. It's there. All you have to do is dial it in. That's what you're getting. There are times where you see, well, what happens when I go underneath a, whatever it's called, an overpass, and then I no longer have my signal. That's okay. That's totally fine, because that signal is still radiating and you're always able to tune it in. You are a divine creator. You're able to always tune it in. So I feel like the only difference really is in the way it looks. You do hear people talk about the larger the stone, the larger that energy, or that's if you're doing a grid. If I will always put my largest crystal in the center of my grid. But as far as my crystals go, I can do a grid with a bunch of tiny crystals because it's my intention that's going into the grid. And that's why it matters. So what a great question. But I totally feel like you use the crystals that speak to you. That's, again, why your intuition is really so important, so valuable. Yes. Oh, I'm glad you feel very aligned with mermaid energy. Annie, I would love for you to keep working with mermaids. One way to connect is by taking a bath and using that Dr. Teal's Epsom salts with some essential oils. There are, I know, Bath and Body Works. Yeah. Bath and Body Works has some really groovy, super candles. Watch my video on how to connect with mermaids. That has, I walk you through 5 different ways to connect. And then there's a free booklet to connect to. I have my mermaid I have a mermaid shelf actually in my library. So I love it because mermaids are just, they're kind of no nonsense. They're like, yeah, let's talk real. And so I love working with them, especially if you're a goddess of order, you are naturally aligned with mermaids. If you are a goddess of optimism, you're naturally aligned with fairies. If you're a goddess of peace, naturally aligned with angels. And as a goddess of action, you are naturally aligned with dragons. How fun is that? It's nice when you start working with that energy, that spirit guide that's naturally aligned with you, because then you're like, oh, this is really groovy. This is really fun. This is cool. Especially because we know we have one major personality type, but then we also usually have another one, maybe even 3. So you can see where you can easily connect and weave in and dial in the station for your special spirit guide. How fun is this? Oh my gosh. Don't you love a spiritual lifestyle? Really? Really? When you're tapping into it, all of a sudden you're feeling like, yeah, things are getting easier. Things are great. Things are fun because you're tuning in and you're working with the flow. Baby, that's why you're here. You're working with the flow. You are aligning in because angels were like, hey, I want you over here. I want you listening to this because I'm going to be working with you and I want to help keep you happy. Fairies are like, baby, I'm here to help you maintain that joy, help you maintain that high vibration so you can manifest what you want, because when you're happy, you make the world a happier place. So true. Okay, I think you have a good question. Can you tell me why some of my relatives are jealous of me? Because you're amazing, babe. Because you're a bright light. Because you're a shining bright light. Because whether you realize it or not, you are exuding confidence. Your solar plexus, that's your belly area, that is beaming. I see, it's like what I get off you is a Care Bear, but I get the yellow one. I get the sunshine because you don't let things get to you. You let it roll off your shoulders, as we all should. You don't want to hold on to that crankiness. You don't want to hold on to that bad thing or that bad moment. You have a way of of being empowered, of working with angels, look at what you're doing right now. You are learning, you are absorbing, you are elevating your vibration. That's why every time you tune in to whether it's one of my videos or whether it's something like that, I am deliberate in the energy that I bring. If I don't feel well, that's why I won't do it. If I'm not feeling up to par, or if I'm feeling off a little bit, I'm not going to do it, because I don't want to share that energy vibration with you. Any of my emails, I pray over before my fingers even touch the keyboard. I do specific steps to encode a high vibration so that when you open it up, it's like opening up that card, that has the blessing in it, that has like that 3D kind of thing. That's what your soul is as well. Your soul is already weaving into this magic, this beautiful, this high vibration that you bring, whether it's in a text message, a phone call, a family gathering. Of course, some of your relatives are going to be jealous because they want to learn from you. Remember, they chose to be this lifetime with you so they can learn. Now, if they're uncomfortable, that's their lesson to learn. Hey, baby, you can have this too. You can have this joy that I have. It's also a teaching opportunity for you to, well, I'm sorry they're jealous, but I'm going to go on and I'm going to live my life and I'm going to have a great time. And you are continuously setting that positive example. It just happens. Sometimes people are jealous. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I love it. Kimberly's like, yeah, work with the flow, work with the flow. Ty wants to get a crystal ball. Are they hard to work with? I have several. Actually, I have several. I have a big one over there. I can't show you because it's way over there. It's on a shelf. Here's another little crystal ball that I have. I will tell you, if they're by a window and the sun comes out, you can start a fire. So I'm very cognizant of where I put it because I don't want to start a fire in here. As far as connecting with the crystal ball, if you want to do skyring, it's, like you're looking in, you're seeing clarity or whatever. I don't know. It's if you're feeling led, if you feel divinely led to work with a crystal ball, then do that. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says, right? It doesn't matter if someone else says it's difficult or it's easy or whatever, babe. If you're feeling led, ask fairies to help you. Ask fairies, okay, I bought this crystal ball. I want to manifest this crystal ball and I want to manifest an easy time to use it. Don't put out negative energy of, oh man, it's going to be so hard to try to do this, because let me tell you, there are going to be plenty of people that try to make it difficult for you. Nah, I don't feel like it would be difficult for you anyway. I really, really don't. I feel like you're way more intuitive. I feel like you trust the guidance. I feel like you hear it. Sometimes you're doubting it, but I feel like that's within. You don't have to doubt it. You really don't. Yeah, tell her. You don't have to doubt it. Amy says, people are always so jealous of those who naturally shine like a diamond. Preach it, girl. Preach it, Amy. Yes. Nice seeing you too. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wonderful, wonderful. And you are so, so welcome. Wow. It's been a night. I am so proud of you for hanging in there. I am so proud of each and every one of you being able to connect with this vibration. You're going to do something with it. Remember, every time you are aligning with this vibration, you are turning around and making the world a better place, because you are sharing that pure light. You are sharing the divine love. You are allowing your heart chakra to shine beautifully. And just like Amy said, like a diamond. Man, it's important. God, I'm so glad you're here. Please never underestimate your amazingness, your awesomeness, how beautiful you truly are inside and out. And when you intuitively feel divinely led to do something, be it send a text message or get a fairy for a friend and just give it to them, you don't even know why. Trust that, because you just don't know how God is using you to be a gift, a treasure in their life, an answered prayer. That's who you are. You are an answered prayer. And you know what? You're here tonight and you're my answered prayer, just so you know. I love you. I hope you feel that coming through the airwaves. I hope you know I'm so proud of you. It is unfortunately still an act of bravery and courage to tune in and trust your intuition, and even more so to take action. And even by showing up here, you're taking action, you're aligning, and you are ready to manifest your dreams. and I'm excited about helping you. I'm excited, even if I have cat fur in my mouth. If I have that cat tail coming around, we are here. Now, the interesting thing, cats, working with cats, this is a month to be working with cats. Think about it. They have 9 lives. There's magic to 9. Tomorrow, watch for cats. Watch for the signs. Cats bring you that message of keeping your balance, babe. This whole month is about finding the balance. And remember, we had some cards about that too. Please keep your journal. Listen, if you buy that journal from my website, message me and I'll message me with your email. It's because I don't have the way I should have it up. My daughter Kate was working on it. So I don't know if it's completely up yet. I'm going to make it live right when I go. But if you don't see it, just message me the invoice number and you'll have it from Amazon, and give me your invoice number and your email so I can send that bundle to you. It'll be a zip file. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being a part of my life. And thank you for sharing your light. I know you make the world a better place, and I hope you know that too. Mwah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. It's been so fun.